Now, in the source for the last few weeks, you will take a note. There's a couple of events associated with Out of the Darkness. Second page, bottom right-hand corner. And with Jason Tompkins particular, who is leading that. So Jason is going to come and just share with you a few moments about what this is all about as we talk about this Out of Darkness campaign. Jason, good to have you this morning.
Thank you, Colonel, and thank you, Corps, for allowing me to speak about this morning. But also allow me to be completely honest. I'd rather not be up here talking about this thing this morning. If someone came to me and said, Jason, I want you to go learn everything you can about quantum physics and come back and learn it next week, I'd rather do that than talk about what I'm going to talk about this morning. To consider and think about and talk about what happens in a person's mind when it consents to its own destruction and suicide becomes its only option is kind of an overwhelming thing to think about. But it happens every day. The World Health Organization says it happens every 40 seconds somewhere in the world. The CDC says it happens here in the United States every 13.7 minutes, or about 5 times during the time we'll be here worshiping together this morning. 2012, Pinellas County lost 197 people to suicide, about every other day. Even sadder than those current statistics, from 2000 to 2010, suicide rates increased consistently every year. 90% of the people who die by suicide have a diagnosable and treatable mental health condition. Someone who's been professionally and personally impacted by suicide, these numbers only confirm the reality that many of us experience every day, that suicide is a tragedy. And in a quest to find something hopeful in this, I found the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and currently sit as the chairman of the local board. It's really been quite an honor for me. AFSP is a leading national nonprofit organization exclusively dedicated to understanding and preventing suicide through research, education, and advocacy, and to reaching out to people with mental health disorders and those impacted by suicide. AFSP is great. It's the biggest. It's the leading, but it's not the first. You may be familiar with a man named William Booth, who in 1907 started the world's first organized suicide prevention effort when he started some anti-suicide bureaus in London. According to the IHQ website, this ministry to those contemplating suicide, as well as those to bereave, as well as support to the bereaved, is ongoing and effective. Allow me to read the Salvation Army's position statement about suicide. The Salvation Army believes that every possible means should be taken to prevent a person from intentionally taking his or her life. And I love these last 2 sentences. Suicide is everybody's business. Prevention may be a matter of a caring person with the right knowledge, being available at the right place in the right time. There are 2 right places and right times, very tangible right places and right times coming up in the next couple of months. And actually one of them is next week, and as Colonel referenced, the information is in your source. Next Saturday we have the Out of the Darkness Community Walk at Straub Park in St. Petersburg. It is an opportunity for people to come out, and it is a fundraiser, but more important than that, for people who struggle with suicide or people who have lost someone to suicide, to see a smiling face walking step by step with someone provides just about as much or probably more hope and support than $1 will. So I would invite you to come join us next Saturday. We will have music, we will have food, we will have, yes, a fun time given such a tragic and difficult topic. I have flyers I would love to pass out and love to share with you some more about that. And there is the same walk going to happen in Tampa on December the 7th, and both of those pieces of information can be found in the websites in your source. The other event is one that I plan directly. It's the 15th International Survivors of Suicide Day Conference, which is going to be held on November the 23rd at the Suncoast Hospice in Clearwater. That day is specifically designed to provide hope, help, and education for people who have lost someone to suicide. I will be speaking that day about the capacity to survive. Oftentimes people come up to me and say, Jason, how do you survive suicide? And I say, you don't. You do not survive it. But here's what happens, and I think I have something better. Surviving suicide is a process, And if we are observant, we see surviving happening every day without us doing something about it. A person survives suicide when they decide to wake up on Saturday morning and come walk 3 miles with us after having lost someone the day before to suicide, which is what happened last year. Someone lost somebody and they came and joined us that day. So that information is also in the program. And so if you have any questions, I'd love to talk to you more about that and encourage you to consider how you can be the right person at the right place at the right time. Thank you.